Today's reading is Go to Hell by Regidar. And there, you'll see your personal hell chambers, the demon tour guide said pleasantly, gesturing to the 6 doors on the cavern wall before them. Why is there only 6? Rainbow Dash asked. There's more than 6 ponies in the world. The tour guide rolled his eyes. It only shows the personal hells of those who stand before it. Since there are only 6 of you, and me, Spike pipped and not wanting to be left out. The tour guide ignored this. Since there are only 6 of you before it, there are only 6 doors. Feel free to peek inside and check out what your personal hells are like. Do keep in mind that Satan's tours of the underworld is not responsible for any heart attacks, nightmares, or ingrown hair follicles that result from the radiation used to go deep inside your psyche and create your personal hell. Have fun. Twilight Sparkle turned to her 5 friends and Spike. I guess I'll go first, girls. I mean, it can't be too bad. The alicorn opened the door marked Princess Twilight Sparkle and took a look at the chamber that lay beyond the door. Inside was a small schoolroom filled with Earth Pony Falls, all reading books that varied from simple pictured books to news tabloids obviously destined for those of a lower reading skill development, to chapter books that one would read at the age of 10. Twilight screamed and slammed the door shut. She was breathing heavily, her heart pounding, falling down on her back haunches. She stared at the door. The horrible image burned into her eyes. "What'd you see, Twi?" Applejack asked, concerned. "Filthy, dirty ponies," she gasped. "Learning to read." "I'll go next," Rainbow Dash announced. "I'm not scared of anything, though, so I don't think there'll be anything beyond that door." The personal hell chambers aren't designed to scare. They're designed to show a place in which you would be most tortured in, the tour guide explained as he rolled his red demon eyes. Twilight seemed pretty scared, Rainbow Dash said obtusely. "To be fair, Rainbow, a world where Earth ponies could read would be terrifying to just about any pony," Applejack pointed out. "I guess," Rainbow Dash said with a roll in her eyes. "Anyway, time for me to get in there and see what could get to me, Rainbow Dash." The Pegasus opened the door marked with her name, and took a look inside. There, laying on the table, was a stack of paper. "Paper?" Rainbow Dash wondered aloud. "What does that?" She looked closer and saw that the papers were in fact her thousands and thousands of words worth of daring-do fan-fiction. "I'm still not seeing how." Her voice trailed off as a candle was slowly lowered to her precious prose. Slowly, the flame ignited towards the middle of the stack, and the entire collection of amazing fan-fiction starring daring-do and a totally not an author-inserted psychic Banebo Rash was up in flames. Rainbow Dash made a sound often associated with stepping on a hamster, and closed the door to her personal hell, her eyes open wide, a single tear running down her cheek. "What happened, Rainbow?" Fluttershy asked, frightened. Rainbow Dash mouthed empty words and wandered over to Twilight, where she sat with her shaking friend, grasping endlessly at the walls of the doors. "Well, best I go next." Applejack wandered bravely, heading to her respective door. She opened it and prepared herself for the spectacle beyond. The orange Earth Pony was greeted with a scene of herself tied to a chair, a blindfold around her eyes. Applejack watched as a pair of claws came from the darkness beyond, one of them holding an orange, slowly peeling that orange, and began to rub the peels across her body, getting a waxy interior of the peels all over her coat. Applejack let out a yell, and the door was closed in a blink of an eye. Sweat poured down the mare's face as she tried to come to terms with what she had been shown. What was it? What was it? Tell us, tell us, tell us," Pinkie Pie asked, bouncing up and down all over Applejack. "Claws," Applejack muttered. "I hate claws." "It's all right, Applejack," Spike said with a voice of genuine concern, patting her on the back. Applejack stared in horror at the scaly abomination caressing her back fur. She flung Spike to the ground and stomped on his claws into the basalt floor, where they couldn't hurt her any more. "All right, Rarity, you must do it now," Rarity told herself. You must, you must, you must." Biting her lip and closing her eyes, she inhaled deeply and spent 5 good minutes coughing out acid smoke she had breathed in by a nearby fire pit. "All right, I'm ready," she told the remaining of her friends and Spike. "I shall see what could possibly haunt a lady such as myself." The unicorn walked over to the door that was made for her, and she opened it and looked inside, where a booming voice greeted her. "I'm sorry, Rarity. You have lost the Equestria National Twerking Contest to Fluttershy. Please accept defeat and cower in shame and disgust." "No!" Rarity screamed, collapsing in a heap before the evil door, sobbing in her overly dramatic ways, as was the usual. "Wait, that seems like something Rainbow Dash would be more upset to hear," Spike began to say before Rarity shot daggers at the dragon with her eyes. "Don't judge me," she screeched. Spike cowered in fear behind Pinkie Pie, who then sat down on him by accident. "You go next, Fluttershy," Pinkie Pie said with enthusiasm, ignoring the muffling noise coming from her plump pink posterior. "Oh, no thank you," Fluttershy squeaked and shivering in fear. "I'd rather have a nice life not knowing what's beyond that door, thank you." "Don't be such a fraidy-fool," Pinkie Pie said with gusto and picked up Fluttershy, depositing her in front of her door that bore her name. "You can close it at any time you want." "I'm not sure," Fluttershy said, cringing a bit. Pinkie leaned in, smiling a maniac smile. "Oh, all right." Fluttershy opened the door and looked on at the inside. It was her, sitting in a crowd of ponies, all swaying to some rather intense music. The singer on stage was growling into his mic, deep vocals accompanying a insane guitar riff and thundering drums. Suddenly, the crowd began to riot as the song reached the apex of intensity. Together they began flailing about, smashing into Fluttershy, banging her up, sweeping her away into the mosh pit. Fluttershy began to feel aroused from all the contact before she heard the music again, this time identifying just what band was playing. "Slipknot? I fucking hate Slipknot!" Fluttershy yelled, and then she took note of the banner that was hung up above the stage. "Endless Slipknot Concert 2013. Fluttershy slammed the door shut, cowering in terror. She slowly backed away, retreating from the source of the supreme terror. Pinkie Pie cast a concerned glance at her Pegasus friend. "What happened in there, Fluttershy?" "Never-ending pussy-core metal concert," Fluttershy squeaked in horror. The timid Pegasus passed out, unable to process the unbearable horrors in which she had witnessed. "Well, I guess it's my turn. I want to see what sort of creepy things are in my psyche," Pinkie Pie said with enthusiasm. The springy pink pony pranced over to the door and flung it open with gusto. Shoving her head inside, she had observed the contents of her personal hell before a loud shriek was emitted. Pinkie Pie stepped away from the door. The room exhumed a large quantity of strange black goop before the door melted away. The demon tour guide stomped his foot in frustration. "Damn it, why does no one ever read the signs?" Pinkie Pie giggled cheerfully. "What signs?" The tour guide pointed to a large sign above the door that read, "Any person, pony, or other pedestrian that registers over 120 watts is not permitted to use the personal hell chambers." The tour guide took a strange metal detector device, swiped it over Pinkie. The device beeped a few times and then exploded. "Ugh, my wattometer. These things are expensive." The tour guide growled, and Pinkie giggled again. "Well, I guess it's my turn," Spike said, looking at the wall. "But I don't have a door." "Fine. I guess I can make you a door," the tour guide said with a sigh. Hurrying over to Fluttershy's door, the demon took out the magic marker, crossed out her name, replaced it with Spike. "There, have fun." Spike opened the door and gazed inside. What he found in the chamber shocked him greatly. It was Twilight's library, looking like it always did, except he and Twilight were playing happily. Every pony else was there too, not hurting him, bossing around, or shoving hot pokers into his private parts. It was a true paradise. "But I don't see how this place beyond the door is my personal hell," Spike said. "I look happy." The tour guide smiled with an evil smile. "That's the thing. That there, you see? That's reality. What you are doing right now. Your personal hell." Spike clasped his claws to the side of his face, his mouth agape. He screamed in horror as his eyes rolled out of his head, turning into snakes as they landed on the ground. Leave a like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Your favorite pony's Fluttershy, and you know it, and if it's not, comment in the comments what it is. And I will catch you guys later. Links are in the description.